Hey YouTube, Bob here. Welcome to the next edition of my Nintendo Unboxed playlist. And in this one we're going to be taking a look at the original Metroid released for the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1987. And in that year we saw the last of the black box games being released. This one along with Kid Icarus, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and The Legend of Zelda. They were all released, and they had a little bit of a different background, with the exception of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, that did continue on with that black Starfield motif. But Metroid and Kid Icarus sported a silver background, and The Legend of Zelda, as we know, had a gold background. But the two games, they're kind of considered twin games, Metroid and Kid Icarus. They were denoted as password packs, because these games were very long and they were designed to save your progress. Both of them were also released on the Famicom Disk System and took full advantage of the read and write capabilities of that peripheral. But here in the United States we got a standard cartridge release that had a rather elaborate password system, and we'll take a look and see what the manual has to say about that once we crack this open. But first let's take a look at all of the panels here. On the top, we've got the very plain block text Metroid branding. Same thing along both sides here. And then on the back, this is one of the earlier releases because it still has the hang tab punched out of the back here. We've got these standard CRT TV-shaped screenshots here. It says, Metroid, it's you against the evil Mother Brain in the thrilling Battle of Metroid. You're inside the fortress planet Zebes, the planet of endless secret passageways where the Metroid are multiplying. Left alone, the Metroid are harmless, but in the wrong hands, they could destroy the galaxy. It's up to you to prevent the Mother Brain that controls Zebes from using the Metroid for evil purposes. But that won't be easy. You'll have to use your spacesuit to absorb valuable energy for your search to gain the use of power items like the Ice Beam, Wave Beam, High Jump Boots, and Varia. If you survive, it will be you and your acquired powers against the Mother Brain. So, two-player alternating game, which is a different way of saying it's a one-player game, which it is. But it does save your progress, and I'm surprised they don't mention that on the back here. But just the mention here of all the different beams and the various suit that you could get, that lets you know there are things to save as far as your progress goes. And that certainly is the case with Metroid. So we're going to open this up here. Before I do, I want to give a shout out to a viewer by the name of Saturn HST, I believe the name is, who let me know that my memory as to how these games were packaged was a little bit incorrect. It turns out that the packing materials, such as manuals and posters, they were actually outside of the bag. And I think Saturn HST noticed this in a video on YouTube of Nintendo workers in one of the manufacturing plants actually stuffing one of these boxes. So the way they would do it, they would just stack the print material outside the bag here, and the bag would fold over to prevent it from falling down behind the styrofoam block here. So let's get the contents out and see what came with the original Metroid. Let's see, as we pull this out here, the bag would fold up and keep the contents from falling down behind the styrofoam block inside the box here. So the first thing, as always, is the poster. This one here is the Now You're Playing with Power version. It does include Metroid, Legend of Zelda, Kid Icarus, Adventure of Link, the last few black box style games. Some people count them as black box, others don't. I do. So we've got the manual here that we'll definitely take a look at. And then a special message from the publisher of Nintendo Power. Interesting, this is a little bit different than the one we've typically been seeing. So don't hesitate to subscribe to Nintendo Power. Oh, wait a minute, I think it's a continuation. Yeah, let's start at the beginning. Video games facilitate the cognitive learning process by enhancing parallel processing, real-time perception, hand-to-eye coordination, and inductive reasoning skills. Patricia Marks Greenfield, a UCLA researcher and author of Mind and Media. Interesting. Dear friend, Can something that's so much fun be good for you too? When it comes to video games, the answer is a resounding yes. According to many researchers, educators, scientists, and psychologists, playing video games can increase your learning retention and comprehension, build your self-esteem, develop sensory motor skills you can use in higher mathematics and science. Your subscription to Nintendo Power will enhance these important benefits. What's more, the magazine comes with an educational plus all its own. It makes reading fun. Any keen player will study every issue cover to cover, and enjoying what you read can make you a better reader. That's a skill you profit from no matter what your age. Over, please. So don't hesitate to subscribe to Nintendo Power. It's fun, it's challenging, and it brings you benefits far beyond the improvement of your video game scores. So I believe Gail Tilden was the editor-in-chief of the magazine at that time. So taking a look at the cartridge here. Pretty standard issue in the black Nintendo branded dust cover case. Take it out. This is the 5-screw version that doesn't have the plastic clips on the front of the cartridge. And then we take a look at the label here that has the 8-bit pixel art of Metroid. But you're not going to find that on the instruction manual. The instruction manual just has the block text title Metroid. Then on the back, just the Nintendo logo and address. So let's take a look. This manual isn't quite as big as the Legend of Zelda manual, but it's still very, very substantial and follows all of the same design cues and aesthetics as those later black box games that had so much content that we needed a save feature. So we've got the story, how to start playing, important points to remember to advance in the game, pitting Samus against the Mother Brain, the key to winning, hunt out the power items, hordes of enemy characters on the fortress planet Zebes. So the Metroid story, we've got some nice art here. Always enjoyed this art. I remember borrowing this game from a friend, and he gave me the manual to take a look at. I was always fascinated by this. In the year 2000 of the history of the cosmos, representatives from the many different planets in the galaxy established a congress called the Galactic Federation, and an age of prosperity began. A successful exchange of cultures and civilization resulted, and thousands of interstellar spaceships ferried back and forth between planets. But space pirates also appeared to attack the spaceships. The Federation Bureau created the Galactic Federation Police, but the pirates' attacks were powerful, and it was not easy to catch them in the vastness of space. The Federation Bureau and the Federation Police called together warriors known for their great courage and sent them to do battle with the pirates. These great warriors were called space hunters. They received large rewards when they captured pirates and made their living as space bounty hunters. It is now the year 20x5 of the history of the cosmos, and something terrible has happened. Space pirates have attacked a deep space research spaceship and seized a capsule containing an unknown life form that has just been discovered on planet SR388. The life form is in a state of suspended animation, but can reactivate it and will multiply when exposed to beta rays for 24 hours. It is suspected that the entire civilization of planet SR388 was destroyed by some unknown person or thing, and there is a strong possibility that the life form just discovered was the cause of the planet's destruction. To carelessly let it multiply would be extremely dangerous. The Federation researchers named it Metroid and were bringing it back to Earth when it was stolen by space pirates. If Metroid is multiplied by the space pirates and then used as a weapon, the entire galactic civilization will be destroyed. After a desperate search, the Federation police have at last found the pirates' headquarters and the fortress planet Zebes and launched a general attack. But the pirates' resistance is strong, and the police have been unable to take the planet. Meanwhile, in a room hidden deep within the center of the fortress, the preparations for multiplying the Metroid are progressing steadily. As a last resort, the Federation police have decided on this strategy. Send a space hunter to penetrate the center of the fortress and destroy the Mother Brain. The space hunter chosen for the mission is Samus Aran. He is the greatest of all space hunters and has successfully completed numerous missions that everybody thought were absolutely impossible. He is a cyborg. His entire body has been surgically strengthened with robotics, giving him superpowers. Even the space pirates fear his spacesuit, which can absorb an enemy's power, but his true form is shrouded in mystery. Interesting. They do admit here that the true form is shrouded in mystery, but they're being intentionally deceptive here in the manual and defaulting to masculine pronouns. Interesting. The planet Zebes is a natural fortress. Its sides are covered with a special kind of stone, and its interior is a complicated maze. On top of that, the pirates have planted devices and booby traps in the maze, and the pirates' eerie followers lie in wait around every corner. Samus has now succeeded in penetrating Zebes, but time is running out. Will he be able to destroy the Metroid and save the galaxy? We will find out. So how to start playing the game? You got your title, start versus continue, and then the password screen, which as you can see there, lots of characters to choose from. So you definitely had to be sure to copy your passwords down accurately. What to do when the game is over. Important points to remember to advance in the game. Destroy giant mechanical organism, the mother brain. Well, yeah, that is the main objective here. Using the controller, which this controller lent itself very well to games like this. Reading the display screens. Hunt out the power items and boost Samus's power. The 3 zones of the Fortress Zebes. 3 zones are called Brinstar, Rocky, Norfair, Fire, and Turian, Central Base. Search out and destroy the mini-bosses, pitting Samus against Mother Brain, the Mother Brain. Here's the map of Zebes, a very, very basic map. When we played this game back in the day, a lot of us used paper and pencil to draw out our own maps. There was a lot to go through in this game. All paths start at Brinstar. Face the treacherous fire sea of Norfair. Watch out, 2 mini-bosses lying in wait. At last, you're close to Turian. The key to winning, hunt out the power items. To make them appear, find the rooms and hit the crystal ball held by the statue to make the power item appear. You can get the long beam, the ice beam, very cool art there, the wave beam, and then the screw attack. So many power-ups in this game. Very advanced for an NES game. High jump, and then the Varia suit. Marumari, turning into your ball form. Bomb, energy tank, which is very reminiscent of Mega Man. Missile rocket. Hordes of enemy characters on the fortress planet Zebes. Looks like we have the concept art, which is great, and then the actual pixel, on-screen pixel art as it turned out in the game. Lots and lots and lots of enemies as well. Each one animated. Quite a big game for its time. Even the bosses, too. Squeeped and Polyp. Love the concept art there. Zebo, Holtz, violas and multi-violas. Des Giga. And then, of course, Ridley. Ridley, the awesomeness of Ridley wouldn't be fully realized until Super Metroid, but interesting rendition of Ridley there in 8-bit. Rinka in the Metroids. So they had it broken down by the different areas. Got enemies in Turian, mini bosses. Going back here. These here. Norfair enemies. Zebetite, Mother Brain. Oh, this was similar. He had a question mark like that in the Legend of Zelda manual. Mother Brain lies in the central base of the fortress planet Zebes, the home of the space pirates. Its aim is to cultivate Metroid to multiply and conquer space. Zebetite is its energy source. You have to discover Mother Brain's weak point before you can launch a missile attack. When hit, it makes a shrieking noise. So there's your tell right there. If you destroy Mother Brain, wait for a message to flash across the screen a second later. Something big is in store for you. We can't disclose it here, but we can tell you the game is not over yet. Note, the total time you take to complete your mission determines its final outcome. Yes, and what you get to see at the end. So a little bit of a checkboard here. I always got to find a use for these unutilized pages at the end. They got some nice art there as well. And then, of course, the warranty and the compliance with FCC regulations. So there is Metroid for the Nintendo Entertainment System. An awesome entry in the system's library here. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and stay tuned for more. More content is on the way. Take care.